welcome to another 15 minutes of tangling. So yesterday we finished up putting these little white dots on our Vega pattern, and we're going to go ahead and do our shading and highlighting for this pattern as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of graphite wherever these parallel lines crisscross. I've been toying with if I just want to add it at the spot where there's crisscrossing, or if I want to, sort of like when you're drawing and shading halaba, if I want to like shade the entire edge. So we might experiment with that. I don't know. We'll see if I'm satisfied with just these crosses or if I want to add more shading. Additionally, I'm going to go ahead and I'll blend those a little bit with my tortillion. So today was my birthday, and it's been such a spectacular day. I just am overwhelmed by the support of my friends and outpouring of just kindness from folks today. So I'm sure that'll be a theme in some of the things I talk about. So also in these parallel lines, I want to add some white to make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to use my white charcoal I might have to go in later and redefine the black lines after I've blended in the charcoal. We'll see how we feel about it. This one's quite skinny. We'll see how it goes. It's been lovely today. I spent so much time with different friends, just talking about life, also meeting and talking about school things and sort of getting excited about different projects that we're working on and reflecting on our journeys in graduate school. I love spending time reflecting and discussing with people. Having sort of those contemplative conversations are very energizing for me. So I had just a lovely birthday. I spent some time this morning doing some reflection of, how has my life gone all these years? What have I learned? How have I grown? And what do I foresee? Where do I foresee going in the future? All right, I'm going to blend in some of that white charcoal. Okay. So the reflection time and spending time with friends, and just receiving communication from folks that I don't typically communicate with. It was nice sort of catching up with some folks. And then I also want to give a shout out to Sue. She sent me just the most beautiful, inspiring Amazon gift card. It had a little video of butterflies and flowers and birds, and it was just so thoughtful and not at all expected. It really made my day. So just I want to put out there, thank you so much, Sue. I mean, I was smiling for, I would think, hours after receiving it, just really feeling overjoyed by the general sort of outpouring of love and kindness that not only Sue, but my friends and family have given me and shown me. All right, so I do think I want to add a little bit of shading along the diagonal edges here. I think it might just add a little bit more depth, especially being that we left, you know, some extra space between our brown shapes and these white lines. It leaves a little bit of space for shading. I think it might add just a little bit more dimension. Oh, this one has it. Okay. And this one here. Just a hint of shadow there. Yeah, it gives it a little bit more depth. I kind of like that. And I'm thinking that might be enough of a hint. I might not need to like shade also the other diagonal. I think this is enough of a hint to sort of trick your eye into feeling like there's there's more depth there. Yeah, I feel satisfied by that. All right, so let's go ahead and shade and highlight the border or the ribbon shape itself. So I spent, oh gosh, the majority of the day outdoors. I think that was also very refreshing. I had lunch out in a garden. I was intending to film my Zentangle practice there, but it was so sunny. Oh, the complaints of a beautiful day. It was so sunny that I was having a hard time finding a great way to film because the sun was shining down, and no matter which way I placed my camera, because the camera has to be above my artwork, the shadow of my camera was extended down onto the artwork, and so I was like, I've got to go ahead and find a different location. But by the time that was happening, I had to meet with a friend for a school meeting. And then we sat outside and had a lovely work meeting talking about our graduate school projects and research and just our experience in graduate school. I love those types of meetings where you can sort of not only get an understanding of like, where are my projects, what are my action steps, but also reflect with someone else about just the graduate school journey in general. That's been very helpful for me. But also having time outdoors and time with a friend. And then once I was done meeting with that friend, another friend was like, hey, let's go for a walk. So I was busy chatting and walking with that friend. And then next thing you know, the sun was going down. So even though I spent the majority of my time outside and I had like an intended idea of like, okay, let's do our Zentangles outside, the day got away with me. I was just having so much fun time with friends, and so now here it is, and I'm tangling at my kitchen table. But I have beautiful pictures that I took along the way while I was searching for a place to tangle outdoors, and you know, have had that outdoor time, which was part of the goal. So I feel satisfied by that. So generally speaking, for me, it was a spectacular birthday. Really enjoyed it, and thank you to everyone who has like supported me in my journey and has shown, contacted me today and supported me in celebrating my time on this planet. All right, one last step and then we are done with Vega. I'm going to go ahead and add a white Jelly Roll Shine here and there. Okay, well that is, wow, all of our tangles for our motherhood knot. So I think I will go ahead on a different day. I think I want to add like gold around this aura here, and I definitely want to work on shading and highlighting as like a final step. But I also have all of these ideas for what I want to put along my borders and around the outside of this Motherhood knot. So we're going to start really quickly. We have about 5 minutes left. We're going to start a new pattern right here to create part of our border. And this pattern is called Aquafleur. And you start off creating some sort of wavy, wiggly shape. And in the center, I'm going to add kind of a little loop or teardrop shape there. And I'm going to draw, sort of starting on the edge there and looping around a little bit, and then coming down to a point. I'm going to draw pairs of lines. Visually, it might be maybe a little difficult initially to distinguish these pairs, but later on we'll be inking them in. And these will create sort of like ribbon shapes that connect to the outer edge of this teardrop shape here. This pattern is step by step outlined in the Madame Renaissance book. So if you want to refer there for further information and inspiration, please do so. I think this is one of those patterns you sort of have to be willing to go with the flow and trust that it's going to turn out and it's going to be beautiful. Whoa. So then we have this shape here, and I'm going to continue on creating loops and patterns within. This shape as well. There we go. All right. So for each of those pairs, I'm going to first, I like to sort of connect them, and then I'm going to ink in each of those pairs. I like sort of leaving, when I took my training, they sort of left a shine, but it was a textured shine, so it was sort of these sort of flick motions that create a shine that has a bit of texture to it. So I'm going to connect those two partners, and I'm going to use like a flick motion while I ink in order to create a textured shine. While talking with my friends and reflecting on life in general, I had a conversation that sort of reminded me of like different movies that I've really liked and that I haven't watched in a while. I think sometimes I consume a lot of, what's out right now. What are the new things coming out? And only every once in a while do I revisit sort of like my classic favorites. And so it's nice talking with others and remembering like, oh, yeah, I love that movie. Haven't seen that in ages. Let's watch that. All right. So I'm going to end there with Aquafleur. That's our 15 minutes of tangling for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the birthday wishes and all the support I've received. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow so we can continue Aquafleur and building out these border sections. And maybe we'll spend some time putting some gold into these auras. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.